For more on this, let's bring in Peter Schiff, chief economist and global strategist at Euro-Pacific Capital and author of The Real Crash, America's Coming Bankruptcy. Wall Street tried to rally on Friday, but ended up the day down. Does it mean that perhaps the concerns of this coronavirus are bottoming out?
Well, first of all, the U.S. stock market was and remains, despite the decline, extremely overvalued. You know, the market was priced for perfection, and clearly we're not going to get that. But the larger economic issue is not the coronavirus itself. If the U.S. economy were fundamentally healthy, this virus wouldn't make it sick. The problem is the Federal Reserve has kept interest rates so low for so long to artificially stimulate the economy that it has inflated a gigantic bubble. And the coronavirus may be the pin, but the problem is not the pin, but the bubble that the pin pricks.
Well, as you well know, the president has argued that the Fed is keeping rates artificially high. He wants to see them lower.
No. I mean, sure, the president wants to keep the bubble inflated long enough to get reelected. But if you remember, when he was a candidate and Obama was still in office, he was very critical of Janet Yellen for doing political things. Look, everything the Fed has done since the 2008 financial crisis has only exacerbated the problems that created that crisis, which is why we're on the precipice of a much larger one and why the pricking of this bubble is so risky. And if the Fed, of course, goes back to the drawing board and it just cuts rates again, all it's doing is throwing gasoline on the fire that it lit.
Marco Rubio, the senator from Florida and former presidential candidate, is saying that much of the blame here lies with the Chinese government. I want to play this for you now.
The Communist Party of China is more interested in protecting their global image than they are in containing this. And that's really the fundamental challenge here. They've even intimidated the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization, now that their experts have left, are criticizing China again, this time for not sharing numbers on how many of the healthcare workers have been infected.
Does China bear some of the blame?
No, look, the Chinese government is not responsible for our massive budget deficits, our trade deficits, the fact that the Fed has inflated a stock market bubble or a bond market bubble. We've done this stuff to ourselves. We have pursued these policies that has left our economy so vulnerable. I mean, we have nothing saved for a rainy day, and now even if we get a drizzle, we have a crash.
Peter Schiff from Euro-Pacific Capital. Peter, thank you.